Good morning. Ready up, gamers. It is Monday. We are back. March 24th, fresh off of that Wolves Den week. You already know if you tuned in. Welcome back to Ready Up. This is like, I don't know, our 64th episode.
Something
Absolutely
crazy.
Incredible. You hear my voice, still a little jet lagged. But this is your weekly show to recap everything that's happening in Web3 gaming. I am your host, Icy Gaming, of course, running duos alongside the curator of the K9s, the patron of the Pooches, the wolf of Web3 gaming, our wolf fur daddy, Mr. Peyton Kalavaheya.
Yeah, that one was cemented this week. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
That is number one right now. If you were voted on which nickname I'm probably going to be called for the next 17 years.
Picks or it didn't happen. And ladies and gentlemen, we got the picks.
We got the picks. For sure. Yeah, they for a little foreshadowing for a lot of people, it's like they bought me a suit and I had to wear it. And you know, you just had to. P Money and Iceman, ready up, baby. That's what I'm talking about. It's the new X-Men. It's X-Men X-Men for 2025. New season coming out.
Of course, we are fresh off of the flights from San Francisco back home. It feels good to be back home. Feels good to get some
You flew
sleep.
out yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It's like an all-day flight, but you're an animal. You took the red eye.
I took the red eye because I just had to spend time with my family and everything like that, which I did. Got to give some. I took all of what I had left, to be honest. I gave some day for Hannah to be able to do. But no, I think I slept at 7. I was so wiped out and then like woke up at 7. So then I texted you. I was like, wait, are we doing Ready Up today? Like, yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
It's amazing that you still had something left to give after giving everything this past week.
I'm an extrovert. I felt very recharged.
We're both looking good in the Wolf hoodies. Can we shout out Lau real quick and just WolvesDEN this year? You guys like outdid yourselves on the merch. It was absolutely incredible. From the shirts to the hoodies to even the little tote bag. The tote bag was so good.
The tote bag was sick too. I think I have one. I only have one. Like I looked back at my suitcase because I had to freaking bring that light box. I only could have shoved like so much. I was like overweight. I had to throw a couple things away. Unfortunately. So.
Big shout out to the legends in the chat. Sam Stefanina locking in after WolvesDEN, of course. Good morning, sir. The Gaming Intelligence Agency, you love to see that. Shout out to the GIA here to get the intel. Appreciate you guys. Matt Dubai's off of that 16-hour flight back to Dubai. Much love, brother. It was great hanging out with you as well. I miss you in my life already. Mount Doji. Yo, can we shout out Mount Doji? I didn't get a chance to see this, but Doji, I saw you in like a bunch of the live stream comments, a bunch of the chats supporting WolvesDEN all week long. We appreciated that. Hopefully you enjoyed the content that you saw there.
We got everybody in the chat, man. Everybody. We could probably read it all day, but we got to get to the show. We're not used to the being back in our seats yet. You know, we're used to WolvesDEN streaming at 8 in the morning. Shout out to Cajun. Americans, turn for the 16-hour flight for Token 2049. Matt Defies is not lying. He wants the payback. Matt Dubai's. But yeah, man, let's transition for a second. When Wolf is already released there, buddy. But yeah, we have a lot of things coming up with Wolf, man. I'm excited for it as well. This week we should be having some good announcements as well.
Yeah, we're gonna have a light show for you guys today. We're gonna recap WolvesDEN, kind of give you our perspective, the retrospective on the week that was. We're also gonna touch on is Web3 gaming dead? You already know our answer, of course, but there was actually some really interesting discourse and conversation around that. So stay tuned. We're gonna dive into that. Some people had some really good takes. Hunter Solaire, Knock, Sinjin, of course. And then, of course, we'll always wrap up with a little bit of game trailers. I have been out of out of the loop, Peyton. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how people were staying up to date with everything that was happening. So I've like missed an entire week of Web3 gaming news, which is crazy because I'm like one of the Web3 gaming news guys.
You are the Web3 gaming news guy.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting back to that today. But of course, we got to thank the sponsors, the incredible people that make this show possible, starting with OpenSea. Man, OpenSea was one of the title sponsors of WolvesDEN.
Amazing.
I thought this actually on the way home, man. OpenSea doesn't get enough credit. Hot take for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. OpenSea has done more for Web3 gaming than like a lot of people, like most people, like most like more than some of the gaming chains. Hot take. I'm not gonna name which one, but like OpenSea has just like been putting Web3 gaming on the front page and supporting them nonstop. And I think they deserve way more credit than they're currently getting for that. So big shout out to them for, you know, not only sponsoring this show, but I mean, just like their support of Wolves and WolvesDEN is just unparalleled, man, unmatched.
100%.
Shout out to Oliver. Huge shout out to OpenSea. OpenSea 2 is absolutely incredible. I bought some NFTs not last week, but the week before, and that cross-chain liquidity is just like the smoothest thing ever.
Yeah, it's huge. It's something that, you know, you didn't know that you wanted until it's there, and then you're just like, okay, I'm using this all the time. I also want to just give a huge shout out to Oliver. I know this was something that you probably really wanted, which is the NBA Top Shot is coming to OpenSea. And literally just such an amazing opportunity. If people don't know, like Oliver, who's head of partnerships now, he used to be head of gaming and now he's head of partnerships. So just like put that into perspective of like people that they're really like kind of putting up and elevating in the specific company are people that are coming from gaming just because we're built different. But not just that, Oliver has a huge background with Big Three and a lot of other like typical like NBA sports and types of things. So I know he's going to knock this out of the park when it comes down to it. And NBA Top Shot coming to OpenSea is freaking huge.
Incredible. We got to talk about Zai, the world's first layer 3 solution for AAA gaming. They did it big this year at GDC with the Arbitrum booth. Arbitrum and Zai go hand in hand, and it was really cool. A bunch of Zai games were on display at the Arbitrum booth, which we're going to talk more about the Arbitrum booth raid and the live stream that we did with Peyton in our WolvesDEN recap, because that was so much fun. Yes. It was really great to see the Zai team. They spoke at Alpha Night. Shout out to EJ. They brought so much alpha that they had to bring their lawyer up on the balcony with them to make sure they didn't leak too much.
Hilarious, dude.
But by far the biggest announcement was Raijin. Raijin Games is live with early access right now. This is bridging, Steam player accounts to achievements. And bringing on-chain rewards to those accounts. Super cool and exciting. Big shout out to Storming. Storming did a live stream where he went through how to set this up, what you need to know. Super cool, like kind of step-by-step tutorial there. So yeah, maybe we'll take a look at that a little bit later as well. But Peyton, you saw a little bit about this. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so when it comes to this, it was really cool just to see what he's doing. So it's like you have to join the contest and be able to play like your game. And this is also what Tolan Universe is going to be coming out with, a very similar Vampire Survivor. So I really like what they're doing here, which is like kind of like, okay, click on this. And then some of it's also paid, right? Like Storming had to pay for this. So what I like about this aspect of things is that you go in, you join with this. Sometimes you have to pay for the game, so it kind of qualifies you as a user that is willing to pay for games. Then you go in and join contests. You connect your Steam API and then be able to go in and play a game that is similar to something that's going to be launching very soon within the Zai ecosystem, which part of the Tolan universe, which a lot of people enjoyed at the Arbitrum booth. And so now he's participating in the contest. And so he has like different types of points. And so currently he has one pass. He joined the Vampire Survivor one, and then he is going to go in and like play it. And so that's what he was playing with. The whole specific stream was playing Vampire Survivors. He's never played it. And so he was just playing Vampire Survivors, which is a Web 2 game, but those elements from Raijin literally made it a Web 3 specific experience. And so I'm really excited about like what they plan to do with this. And also just like from more of a publishing standpoint, you have like this kind of feeling. I think he dies here, so I'll pause it to save his face. And so, but yeah, really cool thing that they're doing there. And so, highly suggest anybody that's already playing these games. One was for Marvel Rivals, and me and Blake were like, holy crap, we're looking over Storming's shoulder. It was like, hey, Marvel Rivals just came out. We're gonna play the crap out of that. I know you will too. You and G Crowd were playing till 3 a.m, 4 a.m. Instant Lock Punisher. What was he playing?
G Crowd was playing not Star Lord.
Hella. He was playing Hella.
Yep.
So yeah, it was just a lot of fun. Yeah, in terms of like, Tempest GG is they're doing a lot of their stuff, like storming off that stream made it like very much on the map, and they like it was really cool. So really excited to dive into it. I think there's only early access keys right now, so we'll have to figure out how we can kind of make that happen for the Ready Up crew. But also, if you are sign up for the wait list and get in there, because it's going to be freaking fantastic. So that was kind of a little bit of WolvesDEN, as well as for some alpha for our sponsor. But literally what they're doing, very cool, very innovative, and that's what we need to do right now, right? Is like not be heartbroken and move on and try to find new elements in which that we can start onboarding the masses, because that's what we need.
Man, if your heart was broken, then it got repaired and mended this past week at WolvesDEN. Let's talk about that, man. We got a big WolvesDEN recap. Actually, I want to jump into the day one vlog. If we could like look at this, just kind of recapture some of that vibe, and then I have some like questions and kind of like just we can wax poetic about it a little bit.
For sure.
For anyone that hasn't seen the vlogs yet, Phil did just such an incredible
amazing
job. You would look at this and think that this was like from like the entire week. No, this was just day one.
Day one, baby. Day one. All right, let's rip it.
Do that. Do that.
What's the food? It's freaking dumb.
Let's fucking go.
Look at that meat. Nobody goes home hungry. That's right. Never.
I'm ready to play for the rest of the night.
Now, I feel like the WolvesDEN itself is what made me feel like I have a family around here.
Do you have a light and do you have a camera? I'm in.
I'm here with my chest out gaming, baby.
Anytime we do like a live event, it's chaotic. I mean, like you can look around this room, it's loud as all hell.
Go enjoy it. I'm here with the king of Star Atlas, Mr. Michael Wagner. Thanks so much for supporting the WolvesDEN. We appreciate you, man.
This is WolvesDEN 2025. I am so happy that everybody is here.
Let's get this goddamn party started!
I like the gameplay. I think it's smooth.
Look at those guys!
Do that. Icy, fuck off. I'm trying to redo this fucking grill here.
I love that, man. Every single signature of the video should end with Icy. Icy did. I just want to give a shout out because somebody already kind of did, but they did it indirectly. But the day one end is absolute kudos for the cameraman. So it was a combination of a lot of people, but I will say a lot of the brunt, probably 50 to 75% of it was Icy, man. It was just honestly such an amazing, just to see him do everything. Everybody, he did it so much that probably people thought he was the guy. So he was called like, oh yeah, Icy, do this. And I was like, he's not really there to do that, but he just took it like a champ, like he currently is, man. So loved it.
So fun, man. Yeah, I love Sinjin so much. I mean, dude, like so many moments and clips from that were so great. And big shout out to Sam. One of the video notes we had this year was to include more audio, include more of that feeling of actually being there. And boy, did we capture it so well. Even you just introing like, this is Wolves Den 2025, hearing from Knock, seeing Dub's entrance was just absolutely insane. He brought so much energy coming in there. G Crod just shouting like, I'm ready to play for the rest of the night. Like that just perfectly encapsulated the energy and vibe where people just wanted a game. So with that recap, or with that day one vlog there, I want to ask you, Peyton, like, just how are you feeling Monday morning after the week of Wolves Den? Just kind of maybe like, what's the word for Wolves Den? Kind of, coming down from the epic week that we just had. For me, it feels a little surreal. Feels like a little bit of a fever dream. It was so great, and I miss it. I miss it already. But how are you feeling, man, as like one of the core organizers and Papa Wolf, seeing the house that you built come together as a family and show up for Web3 gaming and show up for each other, and also push this industry and push Wolves forward. How's that sitting with you on Monday morning?
I think for me it's family. I think Sam said it's validating. I think for me, I think family mostly just for the fact that like that is always something that I've wanted to capture within WolvesDEN, right? When it came to starting it, I wanted to make sure that we like spent a lot more time in voice and spent a lot of time in getting to know each other beyond just sharing information. And at the time it might just be like, okay, why are we doing this? But there is a reason, and it showed whenever walking through that door and giving Dub a hug, giving you a hug, giving Sam a hug. Like it was very much like seeing family. And that was something that I think for me was also validating, but also family is the word, because I think a lot of people will try to replicate, and I think some people try to replicate some things that we've done. But the thing that is like kind of baked into the walls and that carries over from WolvesDAO's Discord is the family, right? The family element that like whoever's there, that are there because they care about the organization that is in it, not just the one individual person that they're showing up for. And I think that is something that is just something that I really, really love. And even Sam, he said, even when tokens are down, people still want a game. They want to be together. They want to celebrate the good aspects of our industry. And I think that's something that is a huge thing for us. And we need to make sure that we're leaning into that, is that whenever like gaming, it can be good or bad, but it's escapism at the end of the day. And I felt like I was escaping all of the stuff that I was kind of like really kind of like filling me down, like Wolf token prices down, the whole market is down, everything like that. And going into there and being able to see everybody and validate the ideas that I even had going into Wolf, like this is, the token is down, but like, this is what I'm trying to do. Is it validating? And everybody was like, this is a freaking amazing idea. What you're doing. It's going to take some time to cook, but it's going to change a lot of the industry. And that to me was like, gosh, geez, okay, wait, I'm not crazy, right? I'm not, it was just kind of being with the crazy ones. Anyways, I'm blabbering now. But yeah, that's how I felt.
I love that, man. I think the word for me going into WolvesDEN at the beginning of the week, I was asking people the same question, and that's how I felt as well. It was like the family, the culture, the community, bringing everybody together. But at the end of the week, the word that really felt resonated with me the most was just excellence. It's the excellence of Web3 gaming's finest, the excellence of Sam, Peyton, the Wolves team to put on the event at such a high level. Really, like the program, I was talking to Sam about this on the final night, like the programming of the week and the series of events. They're just so tastefully curated and so thoughtfully well done. And the experience that you have is like no other, that it doesn't just happen by accident, and it doesn't, and even with like a lot of hard work and intention, because like that's what events are, conferences, and we've been to so many over the past few years. But nothing compares to WolvesDEN. Nothing compares to that experience, and it really comes from the creative genius of Sam, and then the collaboration of the core admin team, the creative genius of you and Sam and the team, in like caring so much about that, and like trying to make it like as fun and cool and interesting as possible. And that doesn't happen if it wasn't like coming from incredibly talented just people to pull that off. It's really something special. Everyone that came through WolvesDEN felt how special and unique the experience was, and I'm just like grateful to be a part of it. It's fun to like witness excellence in action. You know, I think of like just going and watching like Kobe Bryant play, or LeBron James play. It's like you're just watching the best to ever do it in real time. And beyond that, it's like bringing the best of the best in Web3 gaming together, right? So like Project O putting on their tournaments, right?
Fun,
Wildcard doing their showcase. We had Julio from Pixelmon, there. You and
that
him
game was
have a
fun, by the way.
Great interview, and then of course like the sponsors that make that possible, right? Like you've got the best in the business, right? Arbitrum, OpenSea, Game 7. It's just like really incredible. So that's like how I kind of think about the week and what makes it special. It's like just the quality and the caliber of the people that come together.
100%.
But I want to ask you, Peyton, so WolvesDEN 2025 compared to WolvesDEN 2024, for the people that weren't there was a lot of level up. There was a lot of you guys managed to capture and recapture everything that made the first WolvesDEN special and unique, which I think is like bringing the family together and putting them in one room, but somehow managed to elevate and make that experience even better. And then I think there was a few core things that were done. First, of course, the venue, the location
the venue was
just insane. I'm sure many people have seen this, but like it was, a multi-million-dollar home on the Marina Boulevard, right on the water, in between the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz, which like growing up, The Rock was one of my favorite movies of all time. Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage, like forget about it. So that was surreal. Multi-floor, there was so much room and space. The layout of the PCs was so good. It really like was inviting and allowed you, to feel comfortable gaming, but then like hang out. People were watching, spectating. Big shout out to Wesley. He brought an N64, so there's another room to the side that had a TV where we had an N64 going. People could play GoldenEye and Mario Kart and all that stuff. Lau with the merch booth was set up really, really well. So there's like different kind of stations around the first floor, which was really, really cool, and just created like the right, I don't know, feng shui vibe and atmosphere where, there was something for everybody and always something cool kind of going on. And then, of course, with that location, we were able to stay up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning gaming, not being too loud or causing a ruckus or anything, but like, we weren't so worried about disrupting people, sleeping, or, the Airbnb, having, noise complaints or anything like that. So that was really cool. It kind of brought that gamer culture to like staying up till 4 in the morning, staying
a LAN party feel.
Playing StarCraft and stuff like that. And then the last piece that I want to speak on is the game showcases. Felt so special. Again, Project O making their world debut at WolvesDEN, only possible at WolvesDEN, and them choosing us to kind of showcase that felt really, really special. Alpha Night feels really, really special because that's something that, is trusted to Wolves. And the private play test from and showcase from Charlie Blackstock for Farcade, which was like a secret event at WolvesDEN, like if kind of thing. So all of those kind of aspects to like a level up. I want to hear from your perspective, Peyton. I've been waxing poetic for too long.
No, you're good. You're good.
Like how it went from your perspective, like how you guys kind of thought about that and some of the things that you guys incorporated that stood out to you and you were really proud of.
Yeah, I think something that I was like really proud of is obviously the venue upgrade was super, super huge. And then when it comes down to like making people feel like part of Wolves Den that weren't there, like I think what kind of came out to me was Bleem.ether already said this as well too. He said like in Discord, but felt like they were part of the whole experience. Like and I think Mount Doji, you know, you said they were very impressed with the audio visual production that ended up happening. And I think that was something, and I think that was something that like I really was trying to target because like Sam and I really like tag team. Last year was very heavy on Sam because I was in between like job transitions. I was helping volunteers and all that stuff. But this time around, it was like really like, hey, like Sam, like I would really want to help like more in this capacity. And he was just like, hey, like I would love to use your skills in terms of like live streaming and a whole bunch of stuff to and that's like for me too is like especially whenever we're going with Wolf and like we're trying to make it into like a broader brand than just like, you know, this 300 specific one, but make more of like, hey, consumers, and be able to get consumers, you need to be able to reach them where they're at, and that's having like worldwide experiences for this, right? And so it may have seemed like that like one that one capacity is just like, hey, whatever, whoever's inside of that venue is the one that's getting like the perks of being there, right? But I wanted it to be like, hey, we're live streaming everything. You know, we're doing this specific stuff. If we're raiding, we're going to raid with not just the 50 people that we're bringing, but we're going to be bringing, you know, all of OpenSea when it came down to it. And that was like something that was like really important for me. And so like that I would say is like a level up, at least something personal for it. And I think WolvesDEN really from a venue perspective, the layout, but also just from a production standpoint as well, is something that like I really want to like double down on next year. You know, I think the Gamer Showcase, like Project O, was probably one of my favorites in terms of using that production or going. And I think that was like the busiest day. It's like we did like a lot. We did like a raid where we took the box and we like ran into stuff. I loved filming you on that one, the Arbitrum raid, and then going into like just a regular streaming into then a production level of like tournament and being able to capture all of that. I think that was like something that I just really, really enjoyed. And looking back at it, I'll be like, that was a defining moment of like what we can bring this, like the next element to whatever we do, WolvesDEN, Creator Dance, whatever it is in 2025.
I love it, man. I love it. Let's talk about some of the standout moments from the week. We've kind of touched on some of them, but I want to bring, you know, some people into it as well. So the one that I had, I've got a few, but one of the ones was Sam winning the Project O tournament. I don't know if you have that clip.
Yeah, I do.
This was just so cool, man. So first off, like big shout out to Project O. This is such a good way to have a tournament and you know, give people stakes. So they brought PSA 10 rated cards from one of the, I think it was like the 151 Pokemon set. And you know, they're in the case and like, you know, graded already. And Sam ended up winning the PSA 10 Charizard from the set, which was just so cool. I think Mason won in second place, like the Venusaur. And then I forget which one, but they're very like rare cards. Not like they gave out like any old Pokemon cards. These are like ones worth hundreds of dollars. I think Sam's one's worth actually like $1,500. Yeah, I just love this, like this clip in perspective. You know, you see everybody there. It's just like, it was just such a fun gaming tournament, but also just such an honor to like showcase Project O. And yeah, man, I mean, I think this is how like the tournaments, you know, should run from now on at WolvesDEN, because it just like you could feel the tension in the room. Maybe
it's
if you
like
want to
step above a LAN party. So like LAN parties are just there, like you're there for fun, which we did that all across. But to have like these high stakes in between, kind of like the lulls of like, not lulls, but like high stakes of like, hey, we're playing for something, is always like the best. And like to have some stuff. And so definitely we'll probably have to adjust the budget next year to have some of these high stakes specific rewards, because I think it made it really good. But at the same time, it needs to be surrounded by a fantastic game, and Project O was that.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we can play just a little bit of this audio just so people get the feel there.
Second place, the Venusaur. Second best. Nice. And then the number one card in the set to the King. Let's go.
To the King. Yeah, most of you small guys. That's why it looks
great. The second one here, though. Any words from the champion?
I said this on camera a second ago. Whenever I played Project O for the first time, I got the same feeling as whenever I played Hearthstone for the first time like 12 years ago. I genuinely love this game, and I figured I'd get knocked out in the first round, but still enjoy watching. But winning instead was really cool, so thanks everybody for making this event.
Yeah. What a great experience. What a great experience.
So cool, man. And everyone that like came and gave energy, just big shout out to them. Fun note, Sam was wearing his signed YGG Parallel Prime Championship jersey, signed by, all the people from the Prime Championship tournament. Zelly, I think Jarla signed that. Of course, a bunch of the YGG guys like Tyler and Sequinox and stuff. So pretty special jersey that he brought out, kind of calling his shot there, summoning the power of those incredible TCG players. So really, really cool there.
Yeah, you beat a couple. Like obviously Ali was in that tournament. Mason's been around TCGs for a long time. Yeah, boys gave me that energy. I know we just had the Wolves Den buff that week for sure. And then the Pheno Siggy was why I won. So love it, love it, love it. Yeah, exactly. You just, got it. But the other cool thing I want to say and point out to is the Arbitrum raid in terms of like the booth, in terms of like taking a specific opportunity to be able to do this. And what a lot of people don't probably know, like this is like very difficult to pull off, right? So this is actually like using a whole bunch of like tech to like have a streamer backpack to be able to go and let people experience what we do, which is coming down that escalator for the first time. And let me see if I can find it. But what do you think of this? And so
this was so cool, man. So big shout out to Arbitrum for being a title sponsor. They had the booth location right at the bottom of the escalator that you're seeing here. So one of the first things that you see as you come,
because we're healthy.
Yeah, as you come into GDC. And I mean, kudos to you, man. I was a little concerned about trying to run a live stream because you go into like, the basement. So I wasn't sure how good the live stream connection, the Wi-Fi was going to be. But you absolutely nailed it. And I think that, you leveled up so hard with the production that you really need to be given your flowers.
Thanks,
because
buddy.
you ran multiple different productions at WolvesDEN, from, a live stream here, mobile with the streamer backpack. And then, the typical live streams that we had in the mornings that was distributed by KGen, which was really cool. But then the Project O and the wild card showcases were different live streams with, the interview booths and the commentary booth with, Kevin Lambert and Tim Yoista kind of commenting over it, multiple different scenes. It was just so cool, man. It really helped bring people into the experience who weren't there. And like, again, just showed off the excellence of the team and the event from production to, the experience overall. So this was a lot of fun, man. And, shout out to you for making it possible.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, my favorite part right here, guys. At this point, I am dead tired. So this is Wednesday. I stayed up way too late playing games and all that stuff. And so I was like halfway through, I was like, Icy, you got to save me, buddy. You got to save me. You got to take it. And he just took it to the whole next level. I felt like I was part of the stream, just filming him and everything like that. And he was just honestly just great. And just, I had to change his pitch a couple times. But it was freaking a great time. And thank you, Kobe. Stream quality is really good. And so
it was so good.
Yeah, that was something that I was like nervous about too. To your point, like going down to the basement was going to be like a really a big one. Yeah, I love this duo to death. I agree. That's why I work with Mr. Icy Gaming. And then man, it was just a good freaking time. But there is one more event that we had, and this is kind of to your point, right, of the kind of tournament type of style, type of one. So we had Project O, which was like more of it. Actually, we had 3 tournaments, and I think those were probably my favorite. So Planet Atmos was the first one, and that was like a racer specific, like Iron Man type of game, and it was just a lot of it. It's just me, I see just really yelling in his ear, but just literally, it was so much fun. We got to do that. Then the Project O was just a next level thing, and then the last one there was Wildcard. And Wildcard was kind of like one of the last ones to jump in. It was like kind of last minute, and Sam and I were just like, "Hey, can we do this?" It's like, I think we can. And we had an amazing experience.
Yeah, standout moment was you and Storming winning the wild card showcase against the Bodago boys, Easy Eats Bodega and Eli.
It was a tough game. It was like very even, but yeah, let's watch this finishing moment here from it was 3-2, and this was like we could put them away or we were gonna go into a game 7.
Yeah.
So here's the final moment.
Let's go!
Dude, you banging the table is crazy.
And Storming like didn't play wild card until like the night before, so he was just like really practicing a lot, playing Ragna and everything like that, and it was so much fun, dude. And so it was such a great winning moment, dude.
We have a champion, and his name is Peyton, and his other name is Storming.
And so it was kind of Katie was there too, and so it just like there's a snapshot of that moment that was on stream of just me and Storming just yelling
win no matter who.
And so it was so good, man. I had such a great time on that one. It's a memory to last forever for sure.
And I just, again, like, we go to all these gaming conferences or crypto conferences and do all this stuff, but like always the best moments are when you're able to play games and have moments like that and just come together and celebrate with your friends and just have fun, man. Talk trash, go at it. And just seeing stuff like that just brings that culture out, man. I don't have words for it, to be honest. It's just so fun and so cool. And that's what WolvesDEN is. There was like so many of those moments, right? On a smaller scale of just like, 1v1ing for the fun of it and talking trash and winning. Cairo, talked a lot of trash. And
he did.
It's just like standout moments like that were really incredible. So big shout out to everyone that came and made it possible. I want to talk about some of the standout people Peyton, that maybe stood out to you. Some really incredible moments for me personally was just meeting like some of the people that came to the den for the first time. One of those was Sovereign. Big shout out to Sovereign, usually in the chat, one of our day one supporters on Ready Up. And he recently got into WolvesDAO, incredible wolf there. And he came up to me. He's like, "You don't know me, but I know you." And he's like, "I'm Sovereign." And I'm like, "What do you mean I don't know you? Like, of course I know you. Now I know what you look like."
Yeah, exactly.
But just like amazing to do that. I also got to shout out Yap.
Yeah.
Probably one of the number one super fans. Maybe took my spot as the unofficial official fan of Gamified. He's doing his 0 to 10K challenge in Web3 gaming. Just like a gentleman and a scholar. Not afraid to tell it like it is on the timeline. Sometimes a little critical, but like, still always a supporter. And seeing like his dream come true of attending WolvesDEN, meeting Sam, meeting the Wolves, seeing Gamified live, and just like taking that all in was just such a great.
Good,
like, I love that. To me, almost nothing makes me happier than seeing things like that happen, because like it's dreams come true. And that's for me what it's all about. He actually posted like a really great retrospective as well. And really cool to meet him, man. I think Don Johnson was a standout for me, even though he attended last year, but like just seeing like his energy, and like he came back multiple days, always smiling. He was like helping out, explaining like the catamaran races to us and stuff, and seeing like, the energy he brought. If you guys don't know, he's a Swiss Army knife at Virtuals, which is just insane. But seeing his love and passion for the den and the DAO was just really, really cool. Were there any other standout people to you or like moments that,
a lot of them were for me was like more volunteers. So like, being able to like kind of do that was something that I wanted to kind of also do. Like G-Crowd, like just really stood out to me as somebody that like, we had all these people that volunteered, but like, we ask a lot of them, and then G-Crowd just took it to the next level. Never had to be asked, but he was a Swiss Army of WolvesDEN, and he like literally was tweeting, but also like shooting content, doing a whole bunch of like things that like we didn't really ask him to do, helping clean and all that stuff. Seabass obviously also with like his specific videography skills and everything like that really helped kind of give the breadth of it. And so just like a lot of the volunteers, I just want to give a huge, massive shout out to them because it's not possible without them, especially with Wolves and everything like that. It made them feel also like the home culture was there. They were always the people that were going to be inviting people up and saying, how are you? And everything like that. And so it was great. It was great, man.
Yeah, and I don't want anyone to feel left out if we don't shout them out because there's literally 300 people to shout out.
Yeah.
And all of them like contributed in really impactful ways. So it's tough. It's tough to highlight some people and not other people because like Luke Franks did such an incredible job on the content side of things. I was also really starstruck to see Star Platinum there.
Yes.
Like over from Barcelona. That was really cool and really fun. Samwise, Wolves Down member making this like 24-hour flight from New Zealand.
Yeah.
It was really, really fun to hang out with him all week. And there's just so many of like those little moments. So while we have a little bit of time, we can highlight some of them. Yeah. But yeah, man, I guess like to kind of, wrap up a little bit of that segment. Like, is there, if I were to ask you, Peyton, like what makes WolvesDEN special, right?
Yeah.
And, if you were trying to put that to words, what do you think, what makes WolvesDEN special?
I think you kind of alluded to it. You go to a whole bunch of conferences through the year. And there are conferences that you attend the conference or you attend side events, you make content from place to place, you go to your hotel, and then you just kind of have to edit, do all that stuff. WolvesDEN, what makes it special is, and I'll say this again, is like the family orientation style of it, is that like you're not going anywhere. You're hanging out and everything's going to come to you. And not just that, it's like this feeling that like, man, these are the people that I want to be with like for a very long time. Mm-hmm. They push you. You see around everybody doing something that you see yourself, shooting content and everything like that. And you're just like, you feel motivated. You're just like, this is why we're doing everything that we do. This is the industry that I love. And that's the thing, is like getting a whole bunch of people, because it's also just like it's a smaller kind of group as well. Because like the venue can't fit like thousands and thousands of people. So you go deeper with the conversations that you do have inside of it, because you're not going in. It's like, oh wait, I need to go to this booth. I need to go to that booth. It's like, nah, like the people are who you're there for. And I think that's like what makes that place special. And not just that, like you're surrounded by gamers in it. And so you're just having fun too. Like if you're not talking with somebody, you're playing video games. And it's just something that you cannot find at any other conference, is to come into a house that is just going to be buzzing with people that care about you, people that are playing video games, and people that actually want to genuinely help you for it, right? You're not going to get pitched 1,000 times over because like, you're going to probably get kicked out. People are just going to be frustrated with you. So I think that's the difference maker amongst other things. There's a few moats that I think Wolves have, because like it's 3 years of curating people. That's just like very difficult to have. And so like the curation of people and like the quality of builders that want to be there. Koji was just hanging out. The Swiss Army of freaking virtuals was just hanging out. Like, there weren't people that are like, they just feel safe there. And it shows, and it's also inviting new people in and making sure that they do. I think I opened up my speech as if you find somebody that's alone and not talking to anybody, you make sure that you find them and put a body on them real quick.
Yeah, no, I love that aspect, and that we push that forward. You said a word, and that stood out to me. Coming into the house, right, and I think it being in a house setting and creating this home vibe. You come in and like you kick your shoes off, right? And it's just like you don't feel this urge or desire to like be anywhere else.
Yeah.
You can just like hang out and relax and have an amazing conversation. Maybe a business meeting or a business run-in that is game changing for you, from like the meeting a game founder or an investor or like, you know, a BD people. I mean, everyone came through from, you know, Immutable, Ronin, YGG, AVAX guys. Like, you know, you're able to like hang out with these people in a subdued setting, grab a water, play a game and have a conversation. So yeah, I think that's one of the things that like makes it really special. Big shout out to Pawn here. WolvesDEN FOMO grows every year. I need to complete St. John's barbecue achievement ASAP. Yeah, one of the standout events always. I mean, the programming has kind of become legendary at this point. You know, starting with St. John's barbecue night, which is oh man, that food. They came in on Sunday and were prepping it. It was like $2,000 in meat that he was like marinating and preparing and cooking on Monday night. And then of course, Alpha Night on Tuesday is just like a different animal altogether. We were blessed to host like a creator mastermind workshop Tuesday morning. That was a standout event. Really
video
cool.
Let's play that video because that video literally gives me chills real quick. Icy put together this video of all the creators. I have to scroll down because you post a crap ton of content.
If you go to media, it's not too far down on the media side. Really cool. You know, shout out to Matt Stefanina. Talk about another standout person. Sam's amazing. Brother, of course. He participated, helped us create some really great content at the creator workshop. So everyone that was there has a skit video with Matt Stefanina, which is really cool. But also Matt posted, you know, a great gratitude post, just like recapping WolvesDAO and WolvesDEN a little bit, which was really cool to see. He also, you know, to create a home for someone like Matt, I think is really special. But yeah, here's this hero shot video that we did, which is I love this.
It gives me chills. Oh man, it's gonna be like super emotional. Yeah, it's just so freaking good, man. And you know, you just think that there's gonna be less people coming, but there's not. They're just being more and more and more. Pretty soon, we're gonna have to rent out that whole park as well. But thank you for doing that as well, and also with Matt. I came back from the CCP, which is like I talked with Hilmars from Eve Frontier, and I came back and the house was empty. I was like, wait, isn't this where the creator thing is happening? But I saw you guys across the street and you guys were like making content. There was one that is in the Discord one. I'm wondering when you're going to post that one, which is like the dancing one. And then like your video. Oh, so good. Anyways, so good. I won't spoil it. It's so good, man. Anyways.
Awesome, man. Well, we probably you know, covered WolvesDEN to our gills are full.
The horse is dead. We could probably cover it more, but we got to move on for the sake of our listeners and the people watching at home. So
but yeah, just thank you, Peyton. Thank you, Sam. Thank you to the WolvesDEN admin and core contributors, all the volunteers who made it possible.
Yeah,
such an incredible event. Takes 4 months of planning. Leveled up, gave us this experience. It's just like I couldn't say thank you enough, man. It's by far the best week of the year. So it's all downhill for the rest of the year until next year, until the Barkey boys run it back.
Well, we might do a little bit more, man. We'll see. A lot of people have like been asking us to do more. And really it comes down to, are we empowered enough to be able to do more? And so we'll see what happens. But a lot of people were kind of coming to us and saying, this can't just be once a year type of thing. I know we did Creator Den as well too, but maybe we can figure out something in between a Creator Den and a WolvesDEN. But yeah, we're gonna get back to the drawing board. But I think some Sam and me need some much needed rest as well. And also shout out to Brian, who is the Den mother. Literally was the best, man. He literally was a game changer and always makes it. So me and Sam don't have to stress out. And so yeah, just fantastic.
Yeah. When I think of Web3 gaming excellence, man, and WolvesDEN excellence, it's Sam, it's Brian, it's Phil, it's Peyton, it's Wolves, you know, coming together to put that on. And when you see Brian at work, it's just like, man, dude, this guy is so smart, so good at what he does, so talented, always having great energy. And that goes for everybody across the board. Again, you hosting and shoutcasting so much of the week, and then producing the live streams. Like at one point, Peyton, I think you passed out and was just like exhausted and dead.
I did that a couple times, yeah, for sure.
But like I see you and Sam, and I'm like, how do they do it? Just like, how do they do it? It's so crazy.
Yeah.
To you know, the build up leading into WolvesDEN, it's not like that was the only thing that was going on, right? Everyone has,
100%.
Their jobs and their obligations and their projects, of course, launching Wolf and everything. And then to go straight into WolvesDEN and put on the event of the year for hundreds and hundreds, probably over 1,000 people, came through those doors over the course of the week, and had, got a taste of like that special culture that you've curated. It's just something different, man. So well done. And here we are. We're back Monday morning, putting on the content. Sam's prepping Simplified right now, I'm sure. And it just doesn't stop.
Doesn't stop.
But let's move on to our next topic here, man, with the time that we have left. Is Web3 gaming dead? This was a narrative. This was a big talking point on the timeline as I was on the plane to WolvesDEN.
I know they were like talking about it whenever we couldn't defend ourselves. You know what I mean? But we defended ourselves with action.
Yeah. And then I even saw, it still continued a little bit throughout the week and everything. So there's a few Web3 gaming detractors, Web3 gaming critics, skeptics, if you will, that had this narrative going. I posted, of course, I think it would be crazy not to address and acknowledge the fact that, we have problems in the industry. We have a lot that we still have left to prove. We have a lot that we have to overcome. But man, the hurdles that the progress that we've made is undeniable. Web3 gaming where we are now compared to 2-3 years ago is just night and day difference. So it's literally the best that it's ever been. But expecting this revolutionary change within 3 years is crazy. The average adoption, I said, of an innovation cycle, broadly speaking, is 5 to 15 years. It took Amazon 20 years to really become the behemoth that it became. Right. So I've been using this Satoshi Nakamoto quote, Web3 gaming's inevitable. And if you don't believe me or don't get it, I just don't have time to convince you. There's a lot of important work to be done. And this isn't just productive, back and forth on the timeline. However, there was some really good conversation that came out of it, as always. I love this take from Sinjin. We have the premise of Web3 gaming, but we don't necessarily have the form or application, right? It's I think somewhere in this, he makes the comparison to the Wright brothers, flying for the first time. It's human flying was as inevitable as the bird. But until someone figured out the mechanics and the principles of flight, it just wasn't possible, but it was inevitable. You just needed to figure it out. So he talks about the right packaging does matter. And this is where that commercialization happens. He says we're just early, and unfortunately we bet and traded on a lot of speculation and of the premise rather than the actual proven use cases. But we're in this stage now where we're trying to prove out those use cases, which Sinjin just gets it, and he's able to articulate it like no other. I love that. Hunter, of course, as always, had a great take, saying we're not dead, we're just heartbroken right now. Many people legitimately believed in the ideas and the teams that have long come and gone, only leaving them in their down only bags. It is tough, when we make a bad investment and we lose money. The reactions on Twitter today, I lost that, are just a reflection of that hurt. But silver lining in the cloud, yes, it was, maybe not great to believe in some of the teams. Everyone got high thinking that they were going to pick one and, a 10,000 hit title, but we still have the honest operators who want to ship successful games. And that's how that's the sign. That's the canary in the coal mine that Web3 gaming is alive and well. It's the builders, it's the Project O's, it's the wild cards, it's the parallels, it's the off the grids, it's the Ronins and the Axes, it's the pixels, and it's people that are like dedicated to this space, that show up and will not be defeated, will not be denied. You think those founders are not gonna win by any means necessary? Like, that's crazy, right? Knock had a take. Like, Web3 gaming is in great hands.
It is.
Like, yeah. You read this one a little bit more than I did. So
yeah, I'll just kind of say it's like, when it comes to people, there's what Knock is saying is that every founder in top game founder in Web3 is like saying that like they don't know what like they're doing, right? They're in a place in which that there's a lot of landmines and everything like that. Some people step on the wrong specific direction and get blown up, and that's part of the experience, but it isn't a sign of incompetence, it's a sign of experience. And I think the issue that I think we're having is that people think that everyone should have it figured out, when in a very nascent industry where we're still trying to figure things out, especially when we don't have as many shots on goal as like our NFT counterparts or DeFi counterparts. It's very easy to spin up a DeFi protocol. It's very easy to spin up like a, smart contract. It's very hard to actually spin up games, right? It takes years of dedication, game loops and all that stuff. And so whoever goes down this path trying to find the mines are very, very difficult, right? It's very difficult to have. And so he just really says that like, there is a way in which that you probably have to approach gaming, right? Within this, is that it's not people that like they're ignoring you or they're doing that stuff. It's like you're just having to literally navigate, like you said. It's like, we're in year 3, year 4 of this, and we're trying to get a 10 to 15 year horizon. I have my bet on this specific industry for the fact that like people are putting out really solid bets. Project O is doing something very different from Fableborn. Fableborn is doing something very different from the Gods token and everything like that, right? For Infinigods. And so there has to be more shots on goal to be able to really figure out which ones are working. And the good thing is that they're all starting to talk to each other, thanks to WolvesDEN, thanks to a whole bunch of other specific connecting tissue. But that's really what I agreed with Knock on this one. But OG also had his counterpoint as well.
Yeah, OG had, Omar, founder of Games GG, always going to be a valued voice in the space. And it's like, zooming out, it's like, bro, mobile gaming is dead. Okay. Free to play is a scam in 2010. Okay. Esports being a joke. Okay. Digital skins being worthless. Okay. Gamers push back on every major shift until it worked. You just need to zoom out. And it's like, to believe that Web3 gaming is dead is just like, it hasn't fully taken off yet. It's simply foolish. I think there's a lot.
He's also talking about like the breadth of it. We have eFrontier, we have MapleStory, who are probably one of the longest standing games in their specific sector, right? Like MMOs, eFrontier has been going for a long time. They're super excited. I talked to Hilmars. He's like, he wants to use this technology really well. And then when it comes to Nexion with MapleStory, we have Off the Grid with Gunzilla. There are a lot of things in which that I'm like really excited about, and they haven't even touched the ground yet, and so it's just really, surprising to me, but I'm okay with it, to be honest. Like if, I think Sinjin, what he said, probably, I didn't read it until you kind of presented it. It's probably the biggest thing that I agree with, is that, the mentality of this sector before a single proven sustainable case was even made. And it's not like on yours, it's just that you were voting on the success of the industry based off different metrics, and those metrics didn't really live up to your expectations, and that's totally fine. Ghost Invader, like that was your thesis, and your thesis now disproven due to the metrics in which that you were measuring that thesis on. Okay, great. I'm sorry that you have to go, but at the same time, that's okay. But like, I think the way that we were measuring success is not metrics that probably traders were measuring success. It's actually for the long-term sustainability of a gaming industry and builders, especially when I think a lot of us came to that conclusion very early on. Those metrics weren't going to be the ones that we're going to be using. If a high float, low FTV is coming into the conversation, you're already screwed, right? Like in terms of this aspect of things, but like Project O and a whole bunch of other ones are really trying to go for a product first led thing, on ecosystems, a whole bunch of things. Builders are not stupid also in the Web3 gaming space. Those guys are one of the most patient people because they're forced to be patient by the nature of their product. It's not an NFT or a token that they can move really quickly with. It's a game in which that the core thesis is actually gameplay and not about tokens. Yeah, I'm really excited, to be honest, about what we're moving towards.
Yeah, I just want to go back to this OG take real quick. I've got my screen up. I think it's well said. Like, if you look at the things that gamers actually want, they want to make money playing games. They want to trade assets freely for cash. They want to own and flex assets across games. They want instant payment if they win competitions.
100%.
And those things are being built and are kind of innate, inevitable truths. And scrolling down, he says, where we're at right now in Web3 gaming, it's like onboarding is so much better. The quality of the games is so much better. Games are on Epic, Steam, and console. We just had Forgotten Rooniverse being announced as a part of Nintendo, which is major. You've got big IPs entering and experimenting. Sony literally has a blockchain called Sonium, right? You've got big studios building and wanting to build. So if you zoom out and take a deep breath and believe in something, we are just warming up. And then I also had this take where I kind of like just simply said it. I'll send it to you, Peyton, on Discord. Like, for me, the really simple explanation and thesis is that the world is moving on chain. Like, at one point the world moved from offline to online. And I think that the world is going to continue to move on chain because blockchains are just the superior rails for value exchange. And if you need examples of that, just look at stable coins or collectible NFTs. They undeniably prove this, right? We want to be able to send stuff across the internet, value across the internet in a trustless, instant, permissionless way, where if I want to send you a skin in a game, I should just be able to send it to you. Like, that's the freedom of the world. So like, just as software ate the world, I believe that on-chain will eat online, and more people will move on-chain and live on chain with their assets, with their value, with their money, with their time. And so in that world, like, obviously gaming just moves on chain, and gaming on chain is inevitable. And that's where we say Web3 gaming is inevitable. And if like you're spending all your, like, the craziest part of this, Peyton, is like the detractors are people that spend all their time all day on crypto Twitter. And it's like, it reminds me of that I think it was like a Degen Spartan quote where it's like, dude, you spend 10-12 hours a day of your life in this industry, and like you're not fully allocated, or you don't believe in it, and like you're not betting on this ecosystem, the world that you spend all your time in. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's the thing is, like, probably a lot of them don't spend their time playing games, right? So when it comes down to it, they don't fully fundamentally understand it, and that's totally fine. Like, I totally okay. But if you look at anybody that's really bullish that also understands it, you look at Zach from the 100x guys. You look at Caesar. You look at Matthew Walker. You look at Swiffle, young up and coming creator, 18, just turned 19. You look at me or Sam or Blake. We love video games. Omar loves video games. We understand it. We fundamentally understand that I have an identity within gaming that I want to be able to represent everywhere that I want to go. And Omar has a very thesis like I do. Anybody that doesn't fully understand or have been probably gaming their whole life and all that stuff, they can't compete with us necessarily. For the fact that at the end of the day, my question to you is, are you a true gamer? Do you fully understand the thesis in which that I am a true gamer? I fundamentally understand the rails, the left and right lateral limits of blockchain technology. And I'm saying that this technology can give value to me as an individual. Until we can start being the vocal piece instead of the people that want it for trading, I think we're going to be stuck a little bit. And so we need to work our asses off, I see, to get more of a podium. And I think WolvesDEN will help us with that as well. And also will Wolf. But more on that a little bit later. but I'm excited for it, brother. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. That's why it's like I've just adopted the mindset like a lot of work needs to be done, and we're here to build, and like my time needs to go towards the builders, and I don't have time to like explain this to you. Like I'll just see you in 5 years. Like when it's like they're gonna deny until it is just inevitable. Yeah, AE Mac, job's not finished, and we got work to do.
We do.
With that said, let's take a look at some of the people doing the work. We got some game trailers. This first one is LOL Land. This is a new casual mobile game coming from YGG, announced at WolvesDEN in GDC week. Really, really cool. Shout out to them for being one of the sponsors and everything. I talked to Mari. I talked to Gabby. They are very excited about this, and let's take a look.
I'm hoping this is the right one.
It's unsafe to go beyond the barrier, that it's madness out here. They call it the trenches.
Oh, is it? I think.
All right, my bad. It might be.
We might have the wrong one linked.
1 second, guys.
I just looked at that link and it's Ronin Realms, which looks really sick.
1 second, guys. How about we switch over to Fableborn, and while I try to find...
let's take a look at Fableborn.
Yeah, 1 second, guys.
We had the wrong link in there. Apologize.
All good, all good. All right, it's just a short 15-second one while I try to find Gabby's one. Also saw some new gameplay there too.
This is great, man. March 26th, new playtest coming from Fableborn. Shout out to Maria. Shout out to Tyler TCAF. They came through the den. We missed Cam this year, but big excitement for Fableborn. They're one of the games that everyone is bullish on proving out the space.
Proving it out. Other one here is, there we go, La Land from YGG, also partnering with Abstract. So let's take a look at it. It's a version of like Monopoly Go, which seems really exciting. I'm going to play it. I like, these games are kind of, I'm a sucker for board game, mobile games.
Yeah.
Like I play Catan quite a bit on my phone. So looks clean though, man. I think like them and what's it called? Play Ember.
Yeah,
doing some great stuff with Abstract and like having this mobile casual game and everything like that. But yeah, excited. I'm gonna download. I'm gonna play it for Yield, but that's also mostly because I'm a board game maxi.
Big shout out to them. All right, so if I was rating this, I mean, it's very simple. There's not a lot there, but I also love like the aesthetic. LOL Land and kind of the approach that they're taking with it. So I would go like 7.4. Like it's cute. It looks fun. I like, it's gameplay, right? The music was good. I love the collab with Pudgy Penguins and Abstract, of course, makes a ton of sense. This is like a fun little world that I would dive into.
Yeah, for sure. I think the trailer is like a 6.1 to me, but I'm gonna play it mostly just for the fact that I like this type of game, but I don't usually am very vocal about it because this doesn't look like a game that I would play, but it is something that I would play. I'll put it in my board game. What's it called? My folder. Yeah, Snakes and Ladders and Monopoly is my bias. I love it too. Yeah, Monopoly. It's off of like a game kind of like Monopoly Go, which is like one of the most popular games of all time. But yeah, A is saying 7.8. You guys are being too kind.
Peyton, did you want to go back to this Ronin Realms one? I wasn't too familiar with it because we've been at WolvesDEN all week, but like the start of that trailer kind of had me hooked. Like,
a little hooked on that one. Okay. One second.
So I don't know much about this. The tweet says alpha launch on 5/25, so that's May 25th.
To go beyond the barrier, that it's madness out here.
MMORPG built by the community.
They call it the
trenches
in
Ronin.
But that's just a label, an excuse to steal, to kill, to justify turning on your own kind. Me, I don't make excuses. Out here, you take what you can, because if you don't, somebody else will.
It's very crypto.
Not everything out here is out for blood. Some things just keep to themselves.
So what is
Some
this?
watch from a distance.
Like it's,
And if you respect that, they'll let you walk away.
I think it's like a community-made MMORPG.
ah, cool, like
It's
a mod.
insane.
But most would rather take. The truth is, out here, you're on your own.
This is cool.
And if you're not ready for that, you won't last long.
It's fun. Extraction alpha. Interesting. Dude, one shot headshot, bro. Couldn't be me. Hey, let's go.
Interesting.
Community-based mods. Let's get it.
Yeah.
And I'm curious. Kojin holders, are you ready? Okay, Ronin Realm.
They say it's unsafe to go beyond the barrier.
Built by the community.
That it's madness out here.
I have to
Wild.
learn more about this.
Yeah, same here. I think the story-driven aspect of the trailer was fantastic. I think some of the character like movements were, yeah, it definitely looks like modded.
Yeah.
So could be better there. But I mean, if it's like built by the community, I think that's really, really cool. So shout out to Ronin Realms. We're paying attention.
It's story driven, so I'm excited for it. But yeah, it like from the gameplay, it looks like very much like a set from like Epic or Unity.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see, man. If it's a community led and everything like that, I'm all for it. I'll play it. Gotta support the fam.
Hey, and did you want to look at this last one, or we can kind of call it there? This is a game that I took a look at. One Fight Arena.
Yes.
I saw them at the Sui Gaming side conference.
I also got the wrong link for that one too. For some reason, One Fight Arena goes to thousands.
That's we'll have to take a look at that. Here, I'll send you their Twitter.
Yeah.
This is a cool game, man. I was actually really impressed. So I did a collaboration with them and Animoca to kind of show off the game. To show off the game, and I was really impressed. So this is like a Telegram line mobile game, right?
Oh, it's Telegram. It's within Telegram.
Yeah, I believe so. And the way that they're going for is like that super hyper casual, but also like that mid-core feel where there's more progression and like deeper gameplay. So it's really, really simple. It's a match 3, Candy Crush style game.
Yeah.
But then like in doing that, you stack up your abilities in the boxing aspect. And then you're
official One Championship mobile game.
Nice.
Unique match 3 PvP. Fast tactical fights. Realistic 3D athletes. Striking KOs. RPG style progression. Leagues, tournaments, and more. Earn adrenaline. Grab real rewards. Complete quests. Daily surprises. Daily quiz. Start earning today. Play now.
Oh, it looks like it's on apps. So it's an app.
Yeah. Sorry. Interesting. Again, I did a video for them with Animoca through the Friends Network, but when I went to it, I was like, oh, this is compelling. And of course, the one championship IP collab is massive. They apparently have bigger 100%. Distribution than UFC. I played it too, and it's fun. Like,
oh yeah, I watched Jelly play it, and I was like, I gotta play it. I gotta hit up Icy for it. But yeah, cool. So it's like match 3, and then you click on your ability. Once you build it up.
Play now.
In terms of like that, is there also like a PvP? So whoever matches 3 faster, they're like.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you've got 20 seconds to stack the abilities as much as possible. So you can see you've got like you got a KO ability, you've got defense, you've got power and strength.
Cool element.
Yeah. So it's really creative like
you're
that.
Stacking KOs and you're also stacking defense.
Yeah.
Okay, and then yeah. This is cool. That's a cool element. Very cool to think.
Yeah. So it's another one of those like genre blends where they're combining different aspects and
right.
I can see it like just being really popular for mobile,
For sure. Yeah, no, I'll definitely check it out. Cool, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the 64th episode of Ready Up. A little bit of a different show today, just recapping Wolves Den. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Peyton, are you ready for another week straight back into it, man? It just doesn't
dude,
stop.
I'm not. I'm like cutting it. I'm doing a half day today, so I'm doing Ready Up, having to do a couple of things right now, and then I'm gonna like spend some time with my kids because I didn't have Saturday with them. But yeah, probably next week or in the next few days I'll be back into it as well. But before we go though, I want to thank our wonderful sponsors. Number one is OpenSea. OpenSea has been a sponsor for us since day one, and has not faltered or have they just keep on loving us very well, and they also keep on building. So check out OpenSea. New version of OpenSea 2, cross-chain liquidity, freaking amazing. Also, super big deal. Top Shot is coming to OpenSea. You are something that's really exciting. Luka being in that Lakers jersey, still not used to it, but it is what it is. I also want to say a big thank you to Zai, and we definitely want to highlight Ryzen. Ryzen is honestly a very, very amazing thing that they're doing, a very cool initiative that's really supporting gamers. And just to kind of give you a little bit kind of a background is that I'm trying to find the Storming in terms of Ryzen. So Storming was playing at the WolvesDEN and kind of explaining a little bit of what the Ryzen is. And Ryzen, you'll be able to go onto Ryzen's website, sign in, connect your Steam API, and then you can pick out games that you can play that are on Steam that are coming. And so it's really, really amazing. And then you get rewards for being able to play these Web 2 games. And so it really turns some of these Web 2 elements into Web 3. And it's a really, really cool thing. So check it out. There's Marvel Rivals and all that stuff. Me and Blake are going to be like, oof, that one looks fun. And to be able to play these Web 2 games and get Web 3 rewards is also something that I like.
The thesis is so simple, man. Going where the gamers are and bringing, rewarding them for doing what they're already doing, which is playing games, and bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3, which is really, really smart. And if it works, and when it works, it's going to be a massive unlock. And that's what the Zai team is focused on. So big shout out to them.
Exactly. So watch his specific one. This is Ryzen's platform. You can join the contest, go in, be able to do that, and then you can play Vampire Survivors, which also ties into a fact everything that they do is on purpose, ties into the fact that Tolan Universe is going to be coming out with a Vampire Survivor, which is one of the games that are currently on the Zai network. So really, really cool, really thought-provoking what they're doing.
Much love to them. Much love to you guys in the chat. Shout out Golden Tides. We played some matches at the WolvesDEN. That was super fun. Big shout out to my procs representing the best of what Wolves represent, adding value. How can I make your lives easier, giving more than you take? We love that, my procs. You do enough so much, giving love and support and all the streams. AE Mac, love you, brother. Always great to see you in the comments. Pawn, Sam, Savage, everybody kind of coming through. Valent, my guy, Sar Blooms, Emerly. Got to see Emerly a whole bunch throughout the WolvesDEN events. Big shout out to YP, the Gaming Grid fam, Ryan, the videographer. I think Gaming Grid is minting their SBTs today. Ooh. So huge shout out to them for that. The elite SBT from the Gaming Grid. I'm sure big things are going to come with that. Selly Plays. Big shout out to Selly hanging out all week at the WolvesDEN. Shout out Cozyverse, Big Sky in the building. A lot of people had great things to say about you, man, contributing. So thank you for that. Bleem, everybody. We'll be back next week with a brand new Ready Up, recapping more of these game news, game updates, pushing Web3 gaming forward until it is inevitable. And, gaming never dies. So, and crypto never dies. So,
never dies. And so inevitably, we're going to be the last ones left. That's what's going to happen, baby. It's inevitable. Let's go.